Hey there, toy collector friends and Batman fans alike. Welcome back to the channel. This is the time traveling toy collector, and this is another entry into the Batman Automobilia Bat Travel Bat Vehicle collection, originally produced by Eaglemoss back in the day and released as a twice a month collectible series. I've started doing these as a semi-regular video series, as I have collected all 80 plus models. The last one I did was the 1986 Batmobile, as appearing in the Adam West and Burt Ward film and subsequent TV series towards the latter part of the 60s. And this is the Batboat. This is the Batboat as it appeared in, well, in the series, I think very infrequently, but certainly in the movie. And what's fascinating to me is they've cited it as being the classic TV series, but the diorama that we get, the lenticular diorama at the back, is very clearly derived from the movie, which I think is perhaps where it made its most notable appearance. But if you're a Bat fan of the DC TV series from the 60s, please let me know in the comments where the Batboat may have popped up in that series more predominantly. So we will be getting this case off shortly, so you can have a much more up close and personal look at this. Again, I think it's one of the better models. It's one of the ones that really resonates with me and made me so glad that I collected this range. Because I remember getting the Batboat on trailer. Of course, this doesn't come with the trailer part. It was like a gold A-frame trailer, if I remember rightly. And you can, so sort of standard Eaglemoss. It doesn't quite, as they actually bothered to create an indent, and then they miss with the sticker. And some of them you can slide, some of them are a little bit too well stuck. So if I try to move it, I think we run the risk of damaging it. You can see also there the lenticular background, which I'll get out shortly, of the buoy and the penguin submarine. So, and some of the detailing inside. But I think you can see here that it's a beautiful rendition. As I say, I remember having the Batboat that was it was black plastic with an orange fin at the back there instead of the blue one that you see here, which is far more screen accurate, though it does have that orange stripe on it. If I remember rightly, it did have that central sort of siren lamp. Certainly didn't have that attention to detail with the trans. I think you can see on the far right of the screen the translucent light that's on the top end of the fin there. I'll look at that, but I've tried to position it in front of the buoy so you can see it a bit more clearly. But I'll have a look at that when we get it in hand. The surface detailing is really, really clever. You can see those side panels. I think they had guns mounted in them, or missiles or something like that, bat rockets or something bizarre. But you can also see where the ties are, for the cable ties that would hold the boat in its moorings. Potentially the silver detailing around the front, the wonderful detailing on the side, stuff inside the boat, and the main sort of turbine thruster there at the bottom. It's just, again, it's a beautifully detailed piece. I'm so glad it's a collectible, but I also kind of really want to sort of play with it. It's the kind of thing you want to get in your hand and play with. It's that tactile. So taking that into consideration, we'll crack it out of the he says gently, so some of the tape gets in the way there. We'll remove the top section. I'm going to pop that over there for now, and I'm going to stick the boat on its watery base over here, which will just give me an opportunity to get that lenticular base in hand. So you can see there, it doesn't have too much. It's still lenticular. You can see that from the light reacting to it there. But it gives a little bit of a 3D effect. You can see the clouds move a little bit there. Not a lot else happens. But yeah, it's a nice little backdrop. And it's relatively in scale with the Batboat. That I mention it because that doesn't Doesn't always happen. And there is a bit of 3D element there with the buoy. I think you can see that looks quite good. Not too much really with the submarine, but yeah, it gives the right effect at the at the back, which is ultimately what it's there for. It's there to give that effect. So I'm just going to pop that over there out of the way for now, because that's not what we're going to be studying. We're going to be studying this. And again, there's nothing else in the set, so we don't get anything else in real life. So whereas with the other Batmobiles that I've shown you so far, the 89 movie and the classic series, there's been a bit of a set design. There's been some Bat computer, or there's been canisters and a Batman figure. The Batboat goes solo in this arrangement, but it doesn't really matter because the model itself is absolutely rammed. I would suggest, with some excellent design features, and it really is, I think, one of the best Eaglemoss models. Now there'll be people probably having quite the opposing view, which of course they're entitled to have, but I really like this. Whichever way you look at it, it's gorgeous. It really is. For me, the color scheme is right, so as I remember it. You've got the translucent plastic for the main siren and flashing light there. You've also got the sort of driving sort of what do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? Running light at the top there. I don't think it is running light, but you know what I mean. We've got the plastic canopies, the glass canopies as they would be. One assumes the windscreens there that echo the Batmobile. So echo the sort of aesthetic of the show. It is of course screwed into the base for protection and security, so it won't wibble, wobble or fall out, which is of course marvellous. And let's take a little look at the detailing on the interior. So you've got the steering column there on the right hand side. You've got some Bat computer detailing, which is really great. You've got I think that's a combination of brake and acceleration unit there next to where Batman would sit. Some coloured buttons, controls, very 60s comms grill, very 60s / comic book comms grill. You've got that scanner thing there at the front, which is very shiny. Can't quite tell what it does or what it's for, but it's very shiny. You've got some detailing there on the inside of Robin's cockpit area. So all round, there's some great detailing on this. There's nothing that's really lacking. I mean, the back of this boat's a bit plain, I'll give you that, but I think it was. And we've got the thruster. Would it have been good with a great big blueshy explosion of thrust coming out the back of it? Maybe. Could they have then elevated it a bit and given us some 3D waves to make it look like the boat is powering through the waves? Maybe. But you know what? That would have been great, but we don't have it. And what we do have, I think, is well worth celebrating and well worth really spending a little bit of time looking at. And I really love the time and effort and the detail that's gone into this. I think I'm not going to say that later collections really suffered in any way, but I think the Batmobile collection, the Batmobilia Automobilia collection, which covers more than just Batmobiles, as you can see, it really benefited, I think, from the expertise at Eaglemoss and the craftsmanship. And I know that it's not so great in later collections, etc., in places. But I really like this, and I think the Batboat for me is a prime example of Eaglemoss doing it well and doing it right. I think it's a real win for me. I mean, there's no angle on this that I can look at it and go, no, that's ugly. I really like it. Of course, there'll be people who think, oh, this is the worst Batboat design ever, because that's the nature of humanity. But I love the sort of bat design at the back of the fuselage there. I love the fin. I love we've got the silver and the red detailing there on the back. The bat symbol is there, of course, in the classic 60s yellow and black. It's just, I just everything about this feels for me right. And as I said right at the start, it really takes me back to when I had, I think it was the Corgi set, where I had the Batmobile, I had the Batboat, which came on that sort of A-frame, chromey, goldy, chromey, bronzy, one of those trailer units. And it also came with the Batcopter, with again, keeping with the theme. So whereas on the Corgi, I think it was, version of this was orange plastic. There were orange plastic blades that seem to remind me for some reason of spiders' webs, but I might be getting my 1970s toys confused. Let's just zoom in a bit more for you for this as we sort of approach the end. But you know what? I think it evokes the nostalgia of the toy. The toy, of course, was far, far below par in terms of quality of detailing and accuracy, but was very playable. Probably got quite the battering. Heaven knows where it is now. Probably it's definitely lost to time, along with the rest of my Bat set, which is, you know, drives me to distraction if I think about it for too long. So I won't. But I think it's a really great entry into the range. As I said, I'm not doing them necessarily in the order they were released. I'm doing them as I want to. There's not necessarily a rhyme nor reason, but because I got such a nice and positive response to the 1966 Batmobile, I've followed it up with this, and I'll probably follow this one up with another of the 1966 vehicles. And to be honest, I might stick with the theme that I've talked about in this one, so that will tell you which one's coming next. But you know what? Terrific, beautiful, beautiful model. I think they've really demonstrated what they're capable of, or were capable of, before their tragic and untimely demise. Eaglemoss, I'm talking about. And I really hope that there's somebody out there that's ready and able to pick up their mantle, possibly with, you know, a more focused approach, so they can just ensure that quality assurance is as high as we know it can be. And we know it can be because we're looking at this. And I think, you know, what we'll look at next also demonstrates, in terms of the model, a really high level of quality. There may be something else about it that isn't quite to standard, but we'll have fun talking about that in that video. Anyway, thanks very much. I've been the Time Travelling Toy Collector, and I want to thank you for spending the last 13 or so minutes with me. I appreciate you could have been doing a myriad of other things, and you chose to spend your time with me, and I can't tell you how much that means to me. The only thing that would mean more is if you like the video and possibly subscribe to the channel, as well as hitting that notification button. Why not? Who knows what's coming next? Well, I know what's coming next, but if you don't, you know, if you don't want to miss anything, then subscribe. It'll be a winner. Feel free, if you're new to the channel, to have a little look around. There might be things there that really grab your interest, and indeed I hope that there is. So have a little look around. Who knows what you'll find. There are other Bat products you can have a look at there as well, if Batman is your primary focus. But if you are interested in toys in general, particularly toys through time, I'm hopeful you'll find something to catch your interest. All it remains for me to say is thank you once again for spending time with me. I look forward to seeing you in a future video. This has been the Batboat from the classic TV series and the movie from the 1960s. From Eaglemoss, their Batman Automobilia collection, and I will see you in a future video. Don't forget, a thing of beauty really is a toy forever. Take care. Bye-bye for now.